Hello, viewers. Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. I just saw a bit of I don't know what it was, whether it was a reflection off the cards or an orb doing a little quick movement. Anyway, back to the reading. I want to look at the Mueller testimony. I know that we've only got now, I don't know, 24 hours until he's before the Congress. I want to now take a quick look before he goes into that testimony. I was watching Neil Katyal, who was a former solicitor, acting solicitor general, talking about from a very interesting point of view. Basically, what he was saying is Mueller comes out straight out and says he couldn't find that the president didn't obstruct justice. However, the Department of Justice policy at the time suggested that he couldn't indict a sitting president. So he didn't want to indict the president because of the Department of Justice policy, because the president wouldn't be able, he would have an indictment hanging over his head and wouldn't be able to defend himself from that charge of obstructing justice. William Barr, the Attorney General, came out then on CBS and said he didn't know. He's a bit perplexed. He didn't know why Mueller hadn't made that finding that the president, obstructed or found that the president obstructed justice, because he didn't really think that there was anything precluding Mueller from doing that. So why didn't he? Now, at the time, William Barr, I think, did that to cast doubt on the Mueller finding. But what Neil Katyal has now saying, that because the Attorney General of the Department of Justice has come out and said, well, the policy doesn't really apply, the Democrats can actually ask Mueller, in light of what Barr has said in that CBS interview, can he now find, given that policy now is not, cannot be considered, can he now find that the president, or say that the president obstructed justice? That's going to be a very, very telling moment if Democrats ask him that, that question. So what I'm going to do now is ask if Mueller is actually going to say in his testimony that Donald Trump obstructed justice. That's what I'm going to ask, because if he does say that, it will be significant, and it will then allow the Democrats to move forward with an impeachment, articles of impeachment. So, okay. Will Mueller actually testify that the president obstructed justice? Will Mueller testify that the president obstructed justice? Will Mueller testify that the president obstructed justice? I feel it's going to be, I'm getting soldiers lined up with rifles. I don't know why I got that particular image, but I feel it's like taking aim and the battle will begin. Let's have a look. We've got the Page of Cups suggesting some kind of surprise question, offer, information coming out as the signifier card out of the Mueller testimony. So even though he can only really testify on what was in the report or what was being made public in the report, there's still going to be some surprises there for us. What is the challenge? The challenge is strength and endurance. Now, I feel that can apply to Mueller. The strength that he's going to be showing. We've had James Comey come out, the former FBI director that was sacked, that is actually mentioned in the Mueller report, say that Mueller is actually going to be very strong. His testimony is going to be strong. He won't be pushed around by the Democrats, and he won't be pushed around by the Republicans. So getting that information out, it will actually have to get I don't know how the Democrats are going to do it, because this is Mueller's strength here. He's very seasoned, experienced, former FBI director, been in front of Congress in tough situations time and time again. He's known for it. So will they be actually able to get that information out is the question. Foundation of the reading, we've got loss here. Loss is the foundation of the reading. Who's that for? The significance of this testimony is here in the World card in the past, but this is also actually talking about the world, endings and beginnings of something quite significant. I feel that he's going to be getting obviously questions on collusion and the number of times that the Trump campaign met with the Russians. We've got celebrations here as the potential, so I feel that he could be asked that, and it's going to be difficult to get him to pin him down to say it because of the strength card. But this card is suggesting that they might be able to do that. The Empress, okay, we've got Russia here, we've got Mother Russia coming through here. But also the strength of the evidence in the Mueller report. Okay, the Chariot right now. This is what's happening now, and this is also speaking to the anticipation here of what of Mueller's testimony. It's being advertised even in Australia as, you know, what time it's actually going to be on, so you can actually tune in live, which I may do depending on the time differences. But it's almost like hang on for the ride, because this is going to be very, very significant testimony with the world. Look at these major arcanas: the world, the strength card, the Empress, the Chariot. Okay, very, very significant testimony. The Knight of Cups. This is again an offer here being made in the environment around the offer, I think, to Mueller to testify. And I think Russia is firmly in the Democrats' sight here. They want to know about the deals. They want to know that this is where they'll be going here. Obstruction of justice was the question. The Eight of Wands. Things coming forward very, very, very quickly, being overwhelmed here. This, I feel, is what the Republicans may be scared or fearing, that the situation with this Chariot is just going to come forward very, very quickly, and they're not going to be able to control it. The outcome card, the Devil here, being chained to something. Yeah, this could be. I guess there's a twofold meaning here. Mueller will be very restricted in what he has to say, and that's a given. And he's going to be resisting falling into the traps that the Republicans and the Democrats might lay for him. But in another way, this is also talking about another major arcana: the world, the strength, the Chariot, the Empress, the Devil. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcanas in this reading. And this could be that with the Devil being the Great Awakener, this could also be around why Trump might have obstructed justice. So that question is going to be raised. The King of Cups here. I feel this is Barr coming into the frame here, trying to protect Trump. And we've got the Queen of Wands, which is the Democrats. The Democrats in the House are in this frame as well, and it's all around Trump and trying with the Republicans trying to protect the president. What's in from our view is disappointment too, but this is Mueller not wanting to be pushed or drawn around any of the sideshow aspects to this testimony. I'm just going to get some clarity there. Will he actually say the president obstructed justice with this Devil card? I mean, you could read that by saying yes, that this president was chained to chained to Russia in some way, or chained in some way that he couldn't get out of, and therefore he took those measures in obstructing justice on a number of occasions, as outlined in the as outlined in the report. The King of Cups can also be, I went to William Barb, can also be Mueller coming forward as more of a father figure, a paternal figure coming into the situation. There's going to be a lot of emotions here with we've got the Page of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the King of Cups. We've got, along with these major arcanas here, we've also got emotions. So emotions are going to be high on the day. Can we have some clarity on the Devil, please? Is Mueller actually going to say and testify that the President obstructed justice? Okay, so we've got the past, going back to the past. Okay, some clarity, please, on the Devil. Is Mueller actually going to say? Okay, so we've got the Devil coming out again as clarification. I think that's actually telling us something there in clarifying the Devil with the Devil. And we've got the Five of Pentacles coming out again, money loss here, or loss of some description, and we've got the Five of Cups, loss again. Okay, so why did he obstruct justice? Is to really to stave off a loss. That seems to be what did the Devil do? The Devil tried to stop loss occurring. Okay, so I'm not getting a clear yes on this, which is telling me, leading me back to the Strength card, that he's not going to fall into any traps here. Okay, the Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving help here. This is really talking about, they're going to be talking about who Trump, it's going to be around the obstruction as well, who Trump drew on to help him prevent this loss here. Clarity on the Strength card, please, with the Mueller testimony. Obstruction of justice, is he going to actually say that? I feel he's going to dance around it a bit. Okay, the Queen of Swords. Okay, we've got the Democrats, particularly watch for the women representatives. There's going to be some really good cross-examination here. Clarity on the Strength card. Is he going to actually say that the President obstructed justice? Okay, we've got the World card here again. So very significant evidence that's coming forward in this testimony, even though he may not step out of the bounds of that report, and the insecurity here. Okay, so why was the President obstructing justice? We're getting a lot of the whys coming forward here. Will Mueller actually say he obstructed justice, or will he stick to his line? Okay, let's ask that question. Will Mueller stick to the line that the President, he could not find the President didn't obstruct justice? So we've got the Star of Hope. It's not again another major arcana, but it's almost a balance card as well. Will Mueller stick to his line that he couldn't say he didn't? That might be as far as he'll go. Oops. What's fallen out here? Okay, the Queen of Wands. Okay, we're going in circles here. This is, to me, what the testimony is going to be like. Okay, let's have a look. All right, so at the end of the day, okay, let's see. At the end of the day, at the end of this long testimony, back and forth, Mueller being, resisting and strong. We've got two devils there. We're going to be left in no doubt who is the devil. By the end of his testimony, that's what we're going to be left in no doubt, that Trump is this devil, okay, and that he was chained to certain things to avoid loss. It's Mueller. One final, I'm sorry to push Spirit, one final question. Will Mueller, after much cross-examination, finally say the President obstructed justice? Knight of Pentacles, money, action, reliability and patience. I feel that's how Mueller's going to be in the face of this overwhelming cross-examination. And yeah, it's going to be, we're not getting a clear answer on that from Spirit. So I feel that's going to be a key question. and he's going to parlay, if you like, with the during the Democratic cross-examination. So I can't say that he's actually, I didn't get a clear card that he's actually going to come out and say that. What I did get was 2 devil cards in 2 different packs. I'm using my Gilded Tarot and I'm using my Rider-Waite, and I've got two devils and all those major arcanas. And I go back to my original reading on Mueller. What he has to say, regardless if he just read the report, is going to be leave us in no doubt who that devil is. Okay, so the next question is, if we're in no doubt by the end of his testimony who the devil is and why things occurred, are we actually going to get the Democrats finally moving toward impeachment? Okay, will there be, before we get to the impeachment question, will there be a shift in public perception after Mueller speaks? Let me just shuffle so that we get some fresh energies here into this pack of cards. Will there be a shift? Will there be a shift? Will there be a shift in? Will there be a shift in perceptions that will occur after Mueller's testimony? Will there be a majority shift in perception? Okay, so we've got the Knight of Wands here. So there's going to be movement. There's going to be movement after he testifies. Will there be a shift in the perceptions around that Trump's obstruction of justice and the many instances of collusion that are outlined in the Mueller report? Are we going to get a shift in judgment that will actually, I guess, influence the electorate to move toward supporting an impeachment of this president? Is Mueller's testimony going to shift the voters to support impeachment? Okay, so we've got, this is the work here. I'll just keep going and bring the laptop down. There's going to be a shift and people are going to want somebody to do their job. Okay, people are actually going to want some kind of new beginning in something. They're not going to settle for the old. They're actually going to be quite disappointed here in what they're hearing. We've got the Three of Pentacles underneath the Knight of Wands. This is talking about a teamwork coming together. The Democrats might finally unite behind an impeachment or articles of impeachment, moving articles of impeachment. What's mirroring or clarifying the Eight of Pentacles is the Ten of Wands, suggesting somebody from this work is going to actually have some sort of downfall. The Fool, and we've got the Wish card. So there is a really strong need for new beginnings here. And we've got the Devil coming forward here underneath the Disappointment card. People are disappointed in their president. And what's hidden from our view is the Death card, endings. So I can ask if the Democrats will now have come together to actually demand that impeachment. I feel that's what's going to happen. Whatever comes out of the Mueller testimony, as I said, even if he just reads from his report, there's going to be some sort of shift with those 2 devil cards there. Let's have a look. Are the Democrats going to come together and move to? Are they going to start articles? Are they going to start impeachment of Donald Trump? Will the Democrats, after the Mueller testimony, start impeaching this president? Will the Democrats start impeachment proceedings to impeach Donald Trump? Will the Democrats, after the Mueller testimony, start impeachment proceedings to impeach Donald Trump? Okay, let's have a look here. All right, so, okay, we've got the Six of Pentacles. I do feel that his financials are critically important to this process. I understand he's just moved to sue the state to stop the state handing the tax returns, his state tax returns, over to the congressional committees. Okay, yeah. it's all about the finances here with the Page of Pentacles. But this is also suggesting some sort of information coming forward as well. We've got the Hermit. We've got isolation of this president, I feel. And we've got the Ace of Cups, which is a yes card, suggesting, and this is a riding on emotion. So the emotions post-Mueller testimony are going to be really running high. We've got the Tower. Okay, so I'm feeling that this is Donald Trump's Tower moment. We've got the Ace of Swords. Yes, 2 aces in this reading. Yes, they are going to move toward impeaching this president. This is the Sword of Justice. Here, this 5 of Pentacles came up in the first reading. There is loss for somebody. Who is there loss for? The president is becoming more and more isolated. And we've got the Ace of Cups. Here's our Empress card, Mother Russia. People are really feeling quite distraught, quite emotional over what, even as I said, if Mueller just reads from his report on the number of connections and meetings, etc., with Russia, Russian agents, or the Russian ambassador, with members of the Trump campaign, it's really going to drive this emotion forward. So what we've got hidden from our view is miracles, wishes, etc. The 9 of Cups, again, focusing on the emotion, wanting change. So I feel that the Democrats will move toward toward impeachment post Mueller, but I feel they're going to wait for the finances before they do so. But suffice to say, emotions are going to be running very high after Mueller testifies before Congress. So I'm going to leave it there. I will come back on, I think, after his testimony, and we'll do a bit of an update. We'll have a look at what actually occurred there. So I'll see you again soon. The other thing I want to also look at is Ivanka and Chariot. I want to take another look at them. They've been very quiet lately. And I want to look at what's going on there, particularly Ivanka. I'm getting a draw to Ivanka. She almost feels frightened, I'm feeling. And I also want to go to William Barr. I did a reading on Barr in another forum, and it was, I'm not going to recreate the reading, but he had absolutely dreadful cards. So whatever is going to fall out, whatever the fallout is post-Mueller testimony in the longer run, Barr is now facing criminal contempt charges. He's just pulling the Tower. He's pulling the 3 of Swords. I feel there's a mixture of health problems for William Barr, but also a downfall. The 10 of Swords comes forward for him time and time and time again. So what he's doing in going out on a limb for this president is actually going to catch up with him. So I should, now that that's come into the frame, one more question. Will Mueller be asked about William Barr's treatment of his report, and what's he likely to say? Is Mueller going to be disappointed? Is he going to voice his disappointment in the releasing of the Barr statement in lieu of the findings of his report? Is Mueller going to speak to that during his testimony? I'm just getting this draw toward what's likely to happen with Barr in the future. It's almost like what he's done will catch up with him, cause and effect almost. Will Mueller express disdain, disappointment, any sort of look, we've got the Empress card here. This again is this strength, the abundance of the evidence. Will Mueller express disappointment in William Barr's handling of his report? Okay, so what we've got here is a yes card. This is a victory card. Will Mueller take a victory? The Queen of Swords here. This could come out under cross-examination. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, with the 7 of Pentacles, he's going to express his disappointment. This is, reevaluating and having to manage a situation. Hello?